You're listening to IBNX. IBNXradio.com.
Welcome to the Live Life in the Purple radio show with M Love on the IBNX radio network. Innovatively broadcasting new experiences, IBNX, where we engage, empower, and entertain you.
Hello, my Purple Nation. Live Life in the Purple is pleased to announce its new sponsor. We are now supported by Purple Door Creations. Purple Door Creations is an incubator for creatives. 5 brands under one roof. Purple Door Creations, making the world beautiful, one dream at a time. Today is a good day to believe in yourself.
Keep a small circle. Love thy hater, even though they hurt you. Positive vibes, natural highs. So I'm tuned in to live life in the purple. Shout out to M Love. This is real love. How I know? Cause she always show him love. It's all love, art, and poetry. Tune in, you about to witness history.
What's good? What's good? I was traveling the beautiful highways of South Carolina. I cannot wait to get back to you guys. So you're hearing this voice, you know you are tuned in to Live Life in the Purple on the IBNXradio.com network, where the energy always flows purple. Why? Because we say so, and you can do it too. So thank you for joining us. But before I go any further, let me acknowledge the beautiful souls gathered in this room and our special guest co-host today. To my left, all the way from wherever he works in the world, this man is always working.
Greetings from Wakanda. Greetings.
Wakanda forever.
This is Only One Tippy. We have something special for y'all today, as always, because like I said, every episode we making history. Believe that. But right now, when I tell you we got special guests, special ain't the word. Special to my right, left, yep, my left, we got Yo Sis in the building.
Hey,
yes.
Team Purple.
Shake it. Welcome. That was a very nice intro.
That was
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And what they need to know, if you're viewing us, there should be a graphic there. This is the PDC team that's here.
For real,
and it happened just right on time. So Yo is through here, so she's our special guest host. And I'm going to try to behave myself because of this beautiful energy right here is back with us again. I love it. She's blushing, guys. You can't see this. Y'all need to give some love and welcome in the house, Dr. Rahsaan.
Thanks for having me again and again and again, man. It's my pleasure.
Always. We are this. You need to consider this as headquarters.
It's home, man. It's home base.
A healer is in the house, and we need your help. We need the public's help. Yeah. So your attention here is very necessary. We're going to have questions and answers because he is, in my eyes and in your eyes, the leading authority on this big issue of medical cannabis that the state of Georgia is facing. We need your help. Chronic pain users, people, a lot of illnesses, about 14, 15 on the list, and more coming. We need your help. Okay, so, and also there's another beautiful energy that's off camera. Maybe, we'll see how she does. You don't need to know all the wonderful things in this room. We'll keep some things secret. But for right now, we're going to go right into the Love Speaks, and this is something that's near and dear to my heart. Energy, as you know. So what you resist, you get more of. Coming right up on Live Life in the Purple on the IBNXradio.com network. Hello, my Purple Nation. Live Life in the Purple is pleased to announce its new sponsor. We are now supported by Purple Door Creations. Purple Door Creations is an incubator for creatives. 5 brands under one roof. Purple Door Creations, making the world beautiful, one dream at a time. Today is a good day to believe in yourself.
Need to catch up on past episodes? No problem. Live Life in the Purple is on Mixcloud and now on iHeartRadio. Choose your favorite way to enjoy Live Life in the Purple because positivity, it's a movement, baby.
It has been said that there's a time for everything under the sun. Well, right now, sit back and relax, because it's time for Love Speaks with Them Love. What you resist, you get more of. Make the best of where you are and do your best to line up your energy from where you are. Because any bit of struggle or any bit of regret only holds your cork under the water and doesn't allow you to connect with the energy that would allow anything to improve. That's from Abraham Hicks in 1997, and it still applies. They speak of the process of struggling with negative thoughts like holding a cork underwater. Everything is fine as long as you keep your hand on that cork, because as soon as you take your hand off of it, boom, it explodes out of the water. And in our analogy here, what that means is all the negative emotion that you were holding on to, that you were holding in, you thought were gone, nope. As soon as you give your attention to it, boom, they're back and you're in a cycle. That, my friends, was me. Just a few short months ago, I was floundering and had been doing so for years, dragging with me all thoughts and experiences that I had that were bad, reliving them over and over again and having the same experiences over and over again. Wow. Have you ever gone to a fair and passed the merry-go-round section and seen this kid on there crying his head off, screaming and kicking? Parents are smiling and waving, and the kid is freaking out. He's going round and round on his merry-go-round, and nobody will get him off. He's scared. He wants somebody to come rescue him. His parents ain't getting him off of it. Yeah, that was me, stuck just like that in a sea of emotions and just thoughts. So I came across this blog that said, "Soothe your resistance." And it helped me to understand that resistance was created by identification with low frequency thoughts. Everything I had, fear, hatred, sorrow, lack, all are low frequency thoughts because they drag your vibration far into a lower realm than your natural place of joy and love. That's where we naturally are. Unless a child is sick, it's happy. And that is natural. That is where we naturally are. But every now and then, of course, your mind is going to go somewhere, but some of us live there, okay? Now, the question is, how identified are you with those thoughts? Without your total identification, the negativity of the mind does not have the power to influence your vibration in any strong way. Your total identification with the thoughts. So I went, oh, so it's my attention to the negative thoughts that's providing them the energy to stay in the front of my mind. And I was like, oh man, that was a start. So now if you understand that the movement of life is created in the desire for betterment or the desire for expansion, then you'll know that the movement of good energy is always in the direction of well-being, of abundance, of ease, growth, and improvement. So if we are in this state of allowing that good life force, then you'll have a much better quality on this journey in the physical body. So I found out the hard way that what you resist, you get more of. If a thought feels good, then align with that. If a thought makes you feel bad, don't identify with it. Don't connect with it. Any excuse to align with a bad feeling in that thought is a defense of negativity, and that means that you're giving it attention. So in order to stop giving it attention, it's kind of funny, but you got to be aware that you're doing it. And we went through that on the way here. We were talking about it, like, how do I let go of that? How am I identifying with it? See, because your identification, without your permission, you cannot, that thought has no power over you or vibration over you. You've got to give it attention. And when it does, it gets activated because energy moves, and it moves and comes right to you. So we're conditioned in our fear-based society. We're pushed in a direction of living in resistance. And I was one of those people that the experts call the person that has a proclivity toward negativity. If it was going to make me feel bad, yeah, I was thinking about it. If it would make me feel sad, yeah, I was thinking about it. It's like I was naturally drawn to it, and I was doing it to myself. And it took me all of these years to figure that out. But now, how is resistance the same thing as the word stubborn? Because it sounds like it, resisting, stubborn. So let's go to the dictionary. Stubbornness is having or showing a dogged determination not to change one's attitude or position on something, especially in spite of good arguments or reason to do so. The basic position of a stubborn person is, no, I won't, and you can't make me. I would suggest that if you've ever been called stubborn or hard-headed consistently, that you Google stubbornness and the cause of it, because it can be the start to a healing pathway. I did that. I Googled it. And information said that stubbornness is when that sensitive soul, that person, had a sudden or unwanted change imposed upon them when they were young. And subconsciously now, anything involving that's different or involving change, they're resistant to it. They're afraid of it. Their mind subconsciously perceives it as a threat, and it acts to protect you, right? So maybe they were uprooted constantly, or they had other circumstances in their life as a child that they had no control over, and that doesn't feel good to a kid, but they don't know how to verbalize that. It creates a vibration or an energy, and that's still in your heart chakra. That's still there. So, okay, we know how we got here, but how do I get through it? How do I stop the resistance loop? Well, there's a book that I have in my hand, and I don't make any money from this. Someone gave me this book at a party. I was leaving. They reached in a bag of books they were handing out, and they handed me this one randomly. And this book started me on a total mind change that has, where I am today. It was really weird. It told me, it's called The Untethered Soul, The Journey Beyond Yourself by Michael Singer. And on page 53, I learned a new word. It's a Sanskrit word from the yogic tradition that caught my eye. The word is samskara, S-A-M-S-K-A-R-A, and it means impression. And it's all about energy patterns in the heart, right? So a samskara is a blockage of an old pattern of thought long held in your energy pattern until you are ready to release it. So if you think of your heart as like a box, we got all these impressions that are like Polaroids stored there all together. And anytime you get in the same energy pattern or old energy pattern, it goes in and finds that exact same one that matches up to where you are right now. It pulls that old thing out of your past and it activates it. And your attention gives it energy. It's like plugging something into an electrical socket. And you are right back where you were. I don't care if it happened when you were 5 and you're 60. You're right back in that emotion. This is an unfinished energy pattern that could potentially ruin your life. Energy should flow through you like water. Your thoughts, like the wind blows, should flow easily throughout your mind, okay? And we feel this energy moving through us through different states, open and closed, happy, sad, high vibration, low vibration. Low vibration is resistant to happiness. I was on that train, looping around all of my old experience like a bad night on the merry-go-round until I put the work to go inside of myself and to find out what was up so I could save my own life and give myself a shot at happiness. And I am doing that. Now, I am stupidly content with me. I can see a new day where I can have difficult conversations, where I can say no, or where I can face the past without tearing myself apart inside. Do the work. I have some resources here. I'll be glad to get them to you. We're online. We're right here. You can text us. We're willing to assist you. That's why we do what we do every Tuesday. We've got some of the top analytical minds from the city, including an expert in his field, gathered to have these conversations. These people are willing and ready to jump in there with us. So we love you. Stick around for our team discussion. Peace. I'm grateful you chose to listen to Love Speaks. This segment was developed with your and my well-being in mind. Please follow me on social media. I am MLUVWALL on Facebook, as well as Live Life in the Purple on Instagram and LLITP on Twitter. Additionally, please make sure to like IBNX Radio on all social media. Hey, remember when things get tough for you and you want to give up? No pressure, no diamonds. Happy living and peace to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, each and every Monday from 7 to 9 p.m. to JC Squared on the Air Show, featuring Jason, J-Boy, Carrie, and Hova, the socialite. JC Squared on the Air. Reason Monday is your new favorite day of the week. Music, special guest, celebrity birthday, the daily, student segment, crazy holiday, and today in hip hop. Check out IBNX Radio and the JC Squared on the Air Show. So much fun you didn't even realize you learned something. This message has been brought to you by Day Ray Media. Day Ray!
Thank you for tuning in to the IBNXradio.com network. Stay tuned for more positive programming with M Love and Team Purple on Live Life in the Purple. Positivity. It's a movement, baby.
All right. Thank you so much. I'll tell you that didn't take that long. But now we're getting ready to talk to these beautiful minds that are here. That was a lot of information really, really quick. And like I said, we can go in depth in it. But did anybody identify with that or have any thoughts on that? Let's start.
Yeah, absolutely. With me, you know, like I said, I feel like it's black people in certain communities, we grow up with certain stigmas. We grow up with certain things being put inside of us. So, like you said, when the emotion come up or something happen, that get triggered. Like you were saying earlier in the car, like if you drop something on the floor, you know, the first thing you go into panic mode because you're like, oh, God, my parents gonna kill me, da 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 da. But you know, you could shift that energy. You could take that energy out of you and, you know, become a something else. And like Marilyn was saying as well, if you are going to focus your energy on something, let it be something positive. You know, instead of focusing on if something happened that's negative, putting your energy into that, put the energy into something positive.
Right. And by doing that, that is how, that I didn't get to say, by doing that, that is how you can pass that energy along instead of stopping it and keeping it.
Yeah.
You just say, oh, wow, I broke something. Huh. You know, it's not the same as when I broke when I was 6. I'm good. It's all right. Move on. No energy, don't give it. You just acknowledge it, no attention, and it goes on.
And just like someone from Jamaica told me, and this still stick with me, she was like, put your shoes on, put your white shoes on. I was like, no, I don't want to get my shoes dirty before the show. She was like, it's just vanity. You know, and for some reason that always stuck with me, and it's like I don't have an attachment to certain things anymore because I feel like it's vanity if it's not something that I could put inside of me. If it's something that's on the outside of me, I don't put worry into it as much as I used to.
That's awesome. And now our special guest host, sorry, excuse my hand there for a second, guys, if anybody suffering with my camera skills. Only your sister, not only your sister, your sister's in the house. What's up, CEO?
Man, I love that Love Speaks because I feel like that's exactly where I'm at. That's where I am on my journey, is learning to keep my thoughts and manage my thoughts in a way that is conducive to what I want to bring about in my life, to be able to have it now as I would have it ideally. So I think that those blockages, they hold us back so much, because you can do and do and do, but if you can't think clearly and you have all these blockages that you're constantly going back to and they're constantly coming back up, it's like you never get past a certain point, and that's spiritually, emotionally, and that all plays into what can actually happen in the physical world. So I'm with it, M. I came to get my vitamin.
Let's
but,
go. Let's go.
I came to get my vitamin.
Vitamin M.
Man,
Y'all don't even know
yeah.
about that. You know, don't say nothing until I patent it. What's up?
That was a beautiful,
soul.
beautiful message.
Thank you. Dr. Rashawn T.
I think we
Hodge.
live in a society where we quit investing in ourselves, you know. We go through this arduous process of graduating high school and pleasing that, you know, unfortunately, you just stop thinking about yourself after 9 or 10. And that's, you know, psychologically, that's when your id and your ego is formed. So whatever society, whatever that mirror has put in front of you, that's not your real self, because that's just what you have accepted. And then I think after 9, we accept this whole beauty. We accept I'm not athletic. We accept, you know, I'm not as pretty, or I need this, I need that, or I feel less than. So everything that made you feel less than, that all builds up. And unfortunately, I see that people do accept it, and that just leads to a ton of anger and a ton of missed opportunities.
Because, you know, you'll be wondering, why in the world do I get upset every time a red, you know, Toyota comes by me? And then one day you'll recognize, oh, my old boyfriend in high school had a red Toyota. That joker, you know, why 30 years later, 35 years later, I'm still upset over that. That impression was made. I never dealt with it.
Right.
I never moved it out of my heart. And it stayed there just waiting in the cut for a moment years later for you to be triggered.
But
Now you got a problem with guys in red cars.
Yeah, that takes courage, though. It takes courage to heal. You know, I always see a lot of people, they just get used to feeling sad. They just get used. They just accept that, you know, they're always going to be a negative person or a pessimistic person, you know, and they just kind of accept that's just their mood, like, you know, and anything that, you know, you try to bring good in that person's life, it's always like, wait, hold a minute, man, I'm comfortable here. They just get comfortable in that spot.
And
so
they'll bring you right with
to
them.
Grow. Oh, absolutely.
People will bring you right along and put you in the mess with them.
Absolutely.
And you leave, they'll put the next person they come into contact with in it, and they keep recycling that same stuff and bringing it back into their experience. That was another key word for me that changed my mentality. It was experience. I'm having an experience. I broke something, like we said, Tippy's experience example, you broke something at age 4 and you got yelled at and it was embarrassing. That was an experience. That's not me. I'm not clumsy. I had a clumsy experience. Breaking that up was key for me. We got 2 seconds. Marilyn, do you have anything to add to that?
I probably have a lot to add to it. Can you hear me?
A little bit.
A little bit? Okay. Well, I probably have a lot to add to that, but I'm going to hold off because I'm coming out there.
Oh, is that a threat? She's coming out.
Bring on Marilyn. Bring her on.
Coming now. I want the world to know.
Thank you, Tippy, just like that.
So we're going to move along. Marilyn has threatened to come out. And that's because we've, in a minute, come out here with us. And that's because she is heavily invested in this individual here. She, I think, out of all of us in the room next to his assistant, knows him the best. And so she's going to come out here with us and so we can get right into this important issue. And this very special guest that we have, Dr. Rashawn T. Hodge, a family medicine doctor in Atlanta, Georgia, practiced for more than 13 years right here, and a graduate of Morehouse College, did his residency at Morehouse School of Medicine, received his medical degree from Robert Wood Johnson Medical School. He's a practice right in our community in downtown Atlanta, premier chronic pain care. So we need you to stay right there. We've got a short break, and we've got questions for him, and guess what? He's got answers, I promise you. This is Live Life in the Purple on the IBNXradio.com network. What's up, world? It's your girl, M. Love, host of Live Life in the Purple, this fabulous energy that comes to you every Tuesday from 2 to 4 on the IBNXradio.com network. Let me tell you who's in the room. To my left.
Hi, this is Marilyn Pearson. I am the host of the segment Authors Speak, where we learn about authors and their journeys to entrepreneurism. And to my left, I have...
Hey, hello? Is this on? What's up, man? It's your boy, Only One Tippy, associate producer with Live Life in the Purple, every Tuesday from 2 to 4.
And we do this every week because
positivity is a movement, baby.
Thank you so much for continuing the positive ride. Thank you so much for continuing the positivity with us on Live Life in the Purple. As promised, our new engineer is out here. Dun, dun, dun.
I made it.
Dun, dun, dun.
I made it.
So y'all, Marilyn, as I said, is going to lead the discussion in talking to Dr. Rashawn. We've got some good questions for him, and I need you to hear his answers.
So, yes. Hey, welcome. I'm so glad to be on. I'm so glad to be on this side of the glass. It's funny. People may be afraid to be on the air, but I'm afraid to be behind the glass, and so I'm facing my fears. And I'm glad to be learning from Miss Link. Thank you, Trish, for your patience and all your guidance. So, glad to be out here, though. This is much more comfortable. So, hey, Rashawn, thank you for coming.
Hey,
oh
thank
my
you for having
gosh.
me, and thanks for this dope button.
Oh yeah, so show me your button. Every one of our guests now gets a customized button, and he's got healer, and that he certainly is. We could not pictorially show you his soul, but we want you to know this man is a healer.
Yes, he is. And what's interesting is last time that you came on, I just had this impulse, this energy that came upon me. And when the show was over, I stood up and I said, oh my God, I have to write your story. And that's why we've gotten to know each other a little better, because I have the most honorable privilege of learning more about you, about where you have come from and what makes you the perfect person to fulfill this perfect purpose for you. So let's start, and we're all going to ask questions, but since I know you the most, and I'm in charge usually, I'm going to start with...
Shots fired!
Let's talk about your history just briefly. We know that you're a pain physician, and if anyone has read the flyers, you are a proponent of medical marijuana, medical cannabis. So tell us just a little bit about your history, how you got to be, first of all, you're not a doctor of chiropractic, you're not a PhD, you are a physician.
Yeah, but big love to all DOs and everybody.
Yes,
you know?
of course, but there's a difference between a physician and all these other doctor people.
Yes.
So tell us just a little bit about your history and your practice and what happened to you.
Well, family medicine, you guys heard the bio, the intro. Thank you for the great intro. I've been doing pain management for almost 9 to 10 years, and I broke my neck in 2012. So the very medications that I used to prescribe for chronic pain, intractable pain, I also did a lot of palliative care as well for most of my adult career, poorly touched my pain. And then I had to reinvest all my energy into doctors for an inkling of hope to get better with neurologists and more pain specialists and, like 111 other million Americans, I'm left with chronic intractable pain, still in pain like, doc, why am I still hurting? So I got on all those medications that I used to prescribe, and it poorly addressed it and left me with some physical dependence, which, is a whole nother topic, but you got to have me back on.
Yes, we will. We're going to topicize you and have you back for these topics because they're really important to learn about.
And then if you suffer from intractable pain, you also there's a depression that's coupled with it. And most people that have chronic pain, they suffer from depression. We have PTSD. Then we worry about our future. So we also have anxiety. So now we have these 4 disorders based off one chronic pain incident, which happened in my life, 2012. Ran to a guy's neck, ran to a guy's chest playing basketball, and I broke my C4, C5. So
that in itself is a remarkable story, and we will go back to that sometime because it's just so amazing that you didn't even know you broke your neck and you were in denial.
That's a good story, though.
It is a good story. You'll have to read the book, though, right?
Yes.
So
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. So what happened when you became addicted, so to speak, dependent upon all of these? There's a difference between dependence and addiction.
Huge.
Tell us.
Yes.
Tell us the difference.
Well, just to keep it light, like physical dependence, is, all medications, they cross this blood-brain barrier, So let's just make it like easy. Caffeine is a drug. So you drink, your Cokes and your coffees, that caffeine crosses and it has a reaction. And for most people, your brain likes it, And then for most people that drink coffee every day, you go on vacation where there's no coffee, you start to have withdrawals. Now that's physical dependence, Now to keep it late, that's like, I'm not going to go rob anybody. I'm not going to sell my son's PlayStation 4 for a cup of coffee. Now that's addiction.
Mm-hmm. That's a very good way of presenting it.
I was just about to admit that I would probably sell somebody's stuff for a cup of coffee.
But you ain't gonna sell your booty. You know what I'm saying?
Putting my phones in my pocket.
There's levels to it. There's levels to selling. So that's the quick and dirty. So I did suffer from physical dependence, like most people. 99% of people that take chronic pain medications, will have physical dependence. Just like coffee.
That's a word I want to use. Opioids. Yes. Opioids is the name of the drugs that people become chronically dependent upon when they're in pain.
Give us a few names, because say someone aren't sure they're taking opioid.
Dennis has written you a bunch of Tylenol 3,
Percocet.
Percocet. There's Vicodin.
Oxycodone.
Oxycontin, Dilaudid, hydromorphone. Then there's that which everyone's hearing about is fentanyl. That's what is coming from Canada, and that's why we're trying to tighten up borders.
Is that what? Okay.
To stop the fentanyl from coming in, and that's the big difference. Fentanyl is 50 times stronger than a drug we write. It's 50 times stronger than heroin, and 30 times more potent.
And they're prescribing that for pain.
Oh,
people are on it, like daily use.
There's a drug.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very strong.
But we can go deep in it,
Yeah.
So you were taking a handful of these drugs, and they weren't working for you because of your pain was still present, and you were becoming depressed, and you were dependent, and were you at your wit's end? How did you feel? What was going on with you?
Oh, it's for most chronic pain sufferers, when you have intractable pain, and it's different when you go to a doctor, and you got to just to keep it so everyone understands. Like, you might have a chest cold. I listen to your lungs. I do a chest X-ray and say, hey, you have pneumonia. Here's 7 days of Levaquin or a 5-day Z-Pack, and you're going to feel better. Now, we don't get to hear that. The chronic pain population doesn't get to hear you're going to feel better. They're going to say, well, manage.
Okay.
And so now you kind of not heard, and it's like, I think as a sufferer and speaking for the chronic pain community, I think not being heard is like the worst punishment known to men. I tell Marilyn all the time, it's kind of like being in the hole. It's just like prison, The worst criminal in jail, he goes to hole. He goes to the hole, solitaire, and you just feel so alone. So that feeling is worse than your pain, that mental anguish of just not being heard, trying to, you want to look well, but no one knows how you feel inside, So you can't dress up for it because people are like, hey, man, you look fine, and then you go see doctors and you want to tell them, hey, they got this stupid subjective scale, what's your pain from 1 to 10. And it's the oldest scale in life, right? We got cars flying next year and we still have this 1 to 10 scale. And if you put 10, you're labeled as a drug seeker. And that's the problem,
It's true. You know that as a physician
As a
because
I did not
you
know
had-
that.
I've been on both sides because
That's
when
right.
someone's always saying 10, and before I had personal empathy, I always said sympathy, but empathy is you got to be in it. You got to be in that shit. You got to live it. You got to put their shoes on and walk it, and that's when you have true empathy. So until I broke my neck, I had sympathy, and my cup overflowed with sympathy. I always felt for people.
But now you're in the hole with
totally
chronic
understand.
pain
I speak
sufferers.
their language.
So you know what it feels like to be in a room and everybody is, talking about stuff, and all you want to talk about is connect with somebody about how you feel, but socially it's not acceptable.
Absolutely, because sometimes you feel, go back to that scale, you want to tell your practitioner, your healer, your doctor, hey man, I feel about 1,000 right now. I'm at my wit's end. And they're like, well, you look pretty decent,
Right, so you must be a drug seeker.
Or do you want more meds? And it's
Right,
like,
that's what it
let me
is.
guard them. You're
Yeah.
kicking people. You're telling your staff you're flagged, and then then you got to go. And then you got to go to a pharmacist to pick up your medication. And so now you're picking up this medication, and you see these eyes, people actually judging you.
It's
That makes you feel even smaller.
So as a doctor, how do you determine the difference of someone that's coming in to the office that's in chronic pain that really needs this, or somebody that's actually abusing these drugs? Like, how do you determine? And is that for you to determine as well, to try to, see if you could seek help other ways for that person? How is that?
Well, unfortunately, we do have the police, So
Right.
by definition, chronic pain is any pain that lasts 6 months or more. Right?
Okay.
Now you have chronic pain. So I'm not talking like, you got in the car accident, you shattered your ankle. Yeah, that's going to heal. I don't care if you have plates and rods, but I'm talking when it heals, there's some soft tissue damage and you have nerve damage in that ankle. And now you're starting to hurt more than 5-6 months and maybe for the rest of your life.
Right.
Now you have chronic pain. So we follow that up with actual, subjectively you can tell me, but we need objective tests like MRIs, CT scans.
And it got to be a fine line as far as people that are really in chronic pain, but like you said, you get addicted to it.
Dependent,
dependent,
not addicted.
Right.
And chronic pain is 1/3 of America. So you got to understand, it's 333 million Americans, 111 million Americans suffer from chronic pain.
Right.
And the list is growing and growing and growing. And now we know, and that's why we're here today, because what's the only answer? Medicinal cannabis.
That's
the safest alternative.
That is a good question. What is the answer? And we are going to come back after this quick break and continue this engaging discussion with Dr. Rashawn Hodge. regarding medical marijuana, and we are here on Live Life in the Purple on IBNXradio.com network.
Life comes at us fast. One thing that gives us comfort is knowing that someone is there when you need them. Well, at Pleasant Hills Insurance, that's our promise to our clients. Call 770-910-7460 today or visit our website at PleasantHillsInsurance.com for your free, no obligations quote on retirement and life insurance. Many of the large agencies have turned their back on the retired workforce. At Pleasant Hills Insurance, if others can't qualify you, very often we can. Pleasant Hills Insurance proudly provides options for preconditions. So call 770-910-7460 or visit PleasantHillsInsurance.com today for your free, no obligations quote on retirement and life insurance. Pleasant Hills Insurance, we're here when you need us.
All righty, we're back with Dr. Hodge, and we're going to continue with another question, Marilyn.
Another question. So we want to go forward here because you're still here, and you did find some answers. So tell us, what was the phoenix that brought you out of this depression and this horrible chronic pain ditch that you were in?
I'm so happy to talk about that.
I'm so glad
So
you're here.
my
to do
glue.
it.
So she's asking me, what is your glue, man? You're happy, you're thriving, you're gaining weight, you just like this energy, right? My glue is medical cannabis. I had a second surgery in 2015, so I gathered as much medicinal cannabis as I could and did as much research as I could. I got lobbyists and get prepared for my fight because I was going to, you know what, to have another surgery, and I know the outcome of my surgery was going to be chronic pain, even though I was going to have the surgery for just an inkling of relief. But just in case, I did all this research, and I was like, wow, man, because I stayed away from it. I was sipping the Kool-Aid. I believed cannabis, or negatively marijuana, was just bad, bad, bad. They preached.
You were brought up thinking that.
Oh, it was bad, bad, bad. So I was like, man, hell no, get that thing away from me, man.
Right.
You know, I might lose my scholarship. You know,
Not only your parents, but the medical community as well.
Oh, absolutely.
You're socialized into it.
Yeah,
as a
it's a
physician.
Schedule I drug, man. You know, it's just as bad as heroin, cocaine, LSD.
That's what they were saying.
Oh, it's a Schedule I drug still now. That's still what they're saying. So anyway, fast forward, and when I had IV, I was getting opioids in my veins, you know, recovering. And once I was discharged, I went right to medicinal cannabis, and I took off from there. I had never touched any opioids from there. I didn't need any benzos. I didn't need help with my depression. I didn't need help with my insomnia. I started to gain weight. I was able to get off of disability. So I was like, yeah, I got to be this huge advocate and help people, you know, because I found an answer that works, that is causing 0 deaths. I got work to do, you know. So that was the purpose of me even breaking my neck.
Exactly.
I know that you hooked up with Alan Peake, who is the author and the proponent of Haley's Hope, which was the first beginning of lawfully creating the opportunity for people in Georgia to use medical cannabis. So when you were first using it, there was a time when you were not really supposed to be using it, and you would have been criminally processed if you had been caught, which is one of the reasons why you became a proponent. And what did you do? How did you help the rest of Georgians?
Man, I used my voice, man. I did. I didn't want to, I was able to get back to work. You know, there was only 8 diseases, and big love to Alan Peake for what he did. And the bill's named after a lady named Haley. She passed last summer, so rest in peace. So her family and Alan, you know, just off of email, you know, like, look, man, I don't want to leave Georgia. My girl's having 400 seizures a day, and this medicine up there in Colorado is saving her life, man. It reduces them from 400 to 1.
Wow.
Right? And so House Representative from Macon, Alan Peake, you know, he read the email, was like, look, I'm going to get behind this. And he did. Him and I think 10 others wrote the original bill, but it was only 8 diseases, and chronic pain and a condition called peripheral neuropathy, or any pain that radiates. And to keep it real lay, it's like that sciatica, you know, people say that damn nerve that shoot down. Like, so, you know, back pain is the most common cause of chronic pain in this country, and sometimes that disc can cause that sit on a nerve, and it shoots down your leg, and most people understand what that nerve pain is. People can identify with that. Or, you know, there's a lot of diabetics and they can identify with that burning sensation or, you know, diabetic neuropathy. So I'm back to work because I got my glue, I got my magic, and I'm driving, taking off, and people say, well, do you use it? And I'm like, well, you know, because chronic pain wasn't on there. Because, you know, literally I was like a lot of people that are self-medicating now, we are criminals. And so I fought for that. And I got some lobbyists, and I fought for it, and it's on the bill now.
It is legal.
It's legal.
It is legal
and then,
too.
And then we just signed, Nathan Dill just signed chronic pain and post-traumatic stress disorder. So now we have 17 qualifying conditions for medicinal cannabis. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's awesome work.
Awesome.
Can
What
we
a
ask a
proponent.
question from the community before he runs out of time?
Sure.
What were you going to?
Oh, the question from the community? Well, I guess people in the community, when we begin to talk about medical cannabis, the fears come up, the historical fears and understandings. People want to know, will I be able to function? Or one person asked, will I lose my job because I have medical cannabis in my system? They also have fears like, is this a gateway drug? Am I breaking the law? And so I'm becoming more aware of these fears, and I need to know, how do you talk to people? How do you explain the value and the beauty of this drug, and how do you calm their fears and help persuade?
Oh, well, tell them my truths, then you back it up with a lot of data. So, one, I did the arduous process of going to med school, so they listened to me for some reason, you know?
Can I pause
So-
you right there?
That patient doctor,
Just like they listen to you, they also listen to their doctors
right?
when they ask, hey, doc, what about this? And the doctor gives them stuff. It happened to me. I asked the doctor, and everything she said to me was outdated information. And it wasn't even, it was about recreational marijuana. It wasn't about medical. A doctor that I had gone to
Yeah.
for a physical. So doctors are out there, and if someone who's interested, they trust their doctor. You build up a relationship. They're
Yeah.
saving my life. And if I ask them about something and they go, I don't, and they're sketchy, then they go, okay, I got it. We're up against that too, doc.
Right. And I think people see that. They know when you're not genuine, and they know when you're a fraud. So I never abuse my patient-doctor relationship because it is a powerful one. And it's something that, my bedside manner and, that relationship is, I treasure. It's not how much you know. It's just, kind of like how you make, I want every patient leaving my office to feel better. I don't care if you're supposed to die the next day, but you just feel good. It was good energy. And the only way you can really do that is really being transparent. Because otherwise, these patients don't trust you because of social media, because of internet. They can WebMD. You can't think and out-diagnose the computer, So, as a physician, we're up against all that. We know the social media. We know there's other websites. We already know that you kind of know what you need with the prescription, the exact dose. You just need to come see us. So when it comes to medical cannabis, one, we got to stop thinking that this is the last resort drug, So you tell people, like, look, man, the best medicine I can give you is a preventative medicine. And they're going to say, yeah. Now, the best medicine is medicine that you take every day and you never see a doctor. And they're, yeah? Okay, that's medical cannabis. Yeah.
See, and
We
this
got to
is-
start thinking it's preventative. Stop thinking it's last resort stuff,
That's because a lot of money has been spent. Yeah, a lot of billions over the years been spent to get people to think that and to fear. And here you have this monumental task with your team and with everybody across the
With
state.
the great, yes.
Yeah, the
And
state
the
of
great,
Georgia behind
great
it.
office, too. I got great support staff. So when it comes to, will I function, I tell them, even to sit here and speak to you, it's in me. Of course you can function. All right, check that box.
Will I lose my job?
Will I lose my job? Well, the federal government has told everybody last year, 2017, to take marijuana out of urine drug screens. I mean, we have 29 states, the capital, that, are green, that have some type of medical marijuana law, or they're recreational. So take them out. As physicians, 10 years ago, I didn't, I took it out. I mean, I had it in my drug screens, but there wasn't enough data to say that there was bad things about it, you know. I worried about the heroin, I'm worried about cocaine, I'm worried about amphetamines, I'm worried about alcohol. Those are 4 drugs that's violence, you know, those are violent, creative drugs.
Right.
So with it being hard enough trying to convince a regular patient, how is it trying to convince other doctors as far as like, without them having to go through it? How do you convince and try to sway their decision and try to get them on board as well?
Well, it's just a matter of time for other physicians now, you know.
Okay.
The Journal of American Medical Association, JAMA, so that's American top-notch.
That's the Bible of medical.
Bible. So
yeah.
they just recently had a study.
So are they going to have to be retaught things from school?
Well, listen, yeah. So I'm gonna get there. So they just recently dropped a research article, and the studies and the results were astounding. You know, that they had to document that medical marijuana, medical cannabis, reduces opioid use. It reduces opioid deaths, and now that's in the Journal of American JAMA, Journal of American Medical Association. They just published that this month. So that's groundbreaking because, you know, all the other studies, they were international, you know, because again, this is a Schedule I drug. That means we can't research and study it. It's illegal. So those results were from medical friendly medical marijuana, medical cannabis states versus non-medical cannabis states, and it was a 14% drop in opioid use, and that's huge. So that's 3.7 million doses that weren't a day.
Because
eliminated 3.7 million doses a day
of opioids that people aren't taking because they no longer need them. They have an
and those are
alternative.
facts. So that's something that every doctor is going to read now, right? So now we know, you know, there was a study last year that the National Academy of Science, Engineering, and Medicine, it said that, you know, what cannabis is indeed good for chronic pain and is indeed appropriate for nausea associated with chemotherapy. So that's another American, well-respected, upper echelon study. So these are just facts.
They can't be denied.
They can't be denied. And so to your, you know, what are other it's not just the docs, it's not just the lawyers, it's the fastest growing job category is cannabis. So law schools are changing their curriculum. There's 12 accredited colleges already that are taking off. You know, hydroponics technical schools are taking off. You know, it's the biggest job market right now. It's exploding, is cannabis. So every industry, every sector has to turn that way.
And even like I was telling you off air, there's an article that I read that said by the year 2030, cannabis sales are supposed to surpass soda.
Right.
Soda.
We
sales.
hope.
wow.
I hope it's sooner than that.
Yeah.
I know.
Let's talk about the future then, or at least bring ourselves up to now. So as we stand right now, what's going on in the state of Georgia, and what is the significance of this primary on May 22nd? We need, I think what's important is we need to know that people are engaged in electing officials who are going to support medical cannabis law and help us to move forward. Because right now, it's a little bit on the not yet ready for prime time status, since medical cannabis is legal, and you can also tell us about how to get a card, but we can't get it in Georgia because there are no dispensaries here. So tell us, first of all, I want to encourage everyone to vote. Okay, and if you are not registered to vote, it's very simple. You go to registertovote.sos.gov.
One more time, that's super important, man.
Registertovote.sos.gov.
And you need to do it before.
Right, before April 24th. Because if you don't do it by April 24th, which is very soon, so get on your phones and on your computers right now and look it up, registertovote.sos.gov, and register to vote. Because if you're not registered by April 24th, then you can't necessarily vote in the May 22nd primary. The primary is full of people who want to run for governor. And if you want to be a governor, that means you have the power to say, I don't care what laws are going on, I veto them all. And there are people running who are going to do that. So you need to get to know your candidates, and you need to know who is going to be in charge of Georgia and who's going to support moving forward with medical cannabis. A very important point. So tell us about
I
how
can go home now, man. That's
Yeah.
it.
I
That's
know.
it. That's the message. That's the impact. That's it.
absolutely be involved. So how do you do this legally in Georgia?
So you're right. The gubernatorials, you got to pay attention to the gubernatorial election, and you're right. You know, every Democratic candidate is pro cannabis. You know, definitely for medicinal purposes only. That's like 100%. And I think there's a majority for recreational use as well. But you know, as far as the Republican candidates, before you get to the primary, typically everyone stays super right. You know, all the way right, really conservative. So when it comes down to the debate, we all need to pay attention. And they're going to be, one of those candidates are going to have to hug cannabis. And we're only going to support who supports the medical cannabis community. So I'm with you. So it doesn't matter the party, but whoever supporting the cannabis community, I'm behind. So very important.
All right, so we agree, and we're going to harp on this some more, but in the meantime, if you are a chronic pain sufferer and you need to reach Dr. Hodge to get some help, tell us how to reach you and what happens when how do you become a patient who is able to legally use medical cannabis if you're on the list?
Yeah, it's real easy, man. There's over 300 physicians now. It's hard to find us, but I'm easy. I'm right downtown in Atlanta, off of North Avenue Boulevard. The clinic is Premier Chronic Pain Care. Phone number 404-895-1924. If you're bedbound, don't have a ride, I will pull up on you to certify you. So the process is really easy. It's just an application. I certify that you have the qualifying condition. It's that easy. I make sure you have a Georgia ID. And then I do the paperwork and submit it, and you'll get a card from the Department of Public Health, and that will allow you to carry 20 ounces of low THC oil, so that's less than 5% of THC on your person. It's also a caretaker card as well, so if you have a sick kid or a sick mom or dad or a loved one, you can apply to become a caretaker of that patient, and that'll allow you to carry the 20 ounces of the low THC oil on your person for him or her. It's also a reciprocity card. A lot of people do travel. You know, we want you to travel and get out, but we want you to spend your money here in Georgia with us, you know, so help us. But if you do travel, it's supposed to be a reciprocity card, so you can go to those state dispensaries and use their state law, whatever, if it's dry herb or if it's just oil, but you can go to that dispensary, present your card, and it should be pretty seamless.
Which is New York just got their first dispensary.
Right.
No, New York has dispensaries, but they got their first one on Fifth Avenue.
Fifth Avenue
Wow.
one.
So
I just want the bag. Can I get a bag?
That's where Prada. So that's where culture is going. It's on Fifth Avenue.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's for them to survive tourism.
And that's a good point, too, is that there are other states that are already supporting medical cannabis, all out. And we're not talking about going to a shop like in where people picture Denver and you just buy some fun weed and you go and party. That's not what this is about at all. This is medical. This is through doctors. This is medication that will support our health and wellness and pain. So, Dr. Rashawn Hodge, thank you so much for spending time with us
thanks
today.
for having me. It's always my pleasure to get over here. You know
we're
that.
So glad to have you.
Stop.
I'm blessed to have you in my life, and we are going to support.
You in my life, friend.
Thank you. And so register to vote.sos.gov. And thank you again. We'll have you back.
And Instagram too, man. One last plug, man.
Yes, please.
They done deleted my account. I don't know who did it, but I'm so mad. But I'm still smiling. But it's Rashawn Hodge.
MD.
MD. So it's RASEANHODGE.MD. That's on Instagram, and I advocate all day. So please turn on post notifications. I appreciate you.
All righty. Thank you so much. We are going to keep it moving. Man. Thank you so much for coming in. I love what we do. I love what we do every Tuesday with IBNX Radio. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back.
always cool, man.
What's up, world? It's your girl, M Love, host of Live Life in the Purple. Fabulous energy that comes to you every Tuesday from 2 to 4 on the IBNXradio.com network. Let me tell you who's in the room. To my left.
Hi, this is Marilyn Pierce, and I am the host of the segment Authors Speak, where we learn about authors and their journeys to entrepreneurism. And to my left, I have...
Hey, hello? Is this on? What's up, man? This your boy, Only One Tippy, associate producer with Live Life in the Purple, every Tuesday from 2 to 4.
And we do this every week because
Positivity is a movement, baby.
Thank you for tuning in to the IBNXradio.com network. Stay tuned for more positive programming with M Love and Team Purple on Live Life in the Purple. Positivity. It's a movement, baby.
Confused about when you love and not that you love. Sometimes it's better to have loved and have lost than to have never loved at all. Farewell, my love. Things aren't always what they seem. Dangerous game.
Hey, this is Yo Sis, and this is my team, PDC, Team Purple. Thank you so much for being with us on Live Life in the Purple with M Love on IBNXradio.com network. Man, we appreciate your time. We have so much more for you today. Coming up is a segment called Positive News, where we bring you news that inspires and uplifts. We also have our segment History Speaks with an expert in African American history, giving us this week's highlights. Only One Speaks is coming up too, for we need to know more about the Black Panther movie and how it is rocking the entire world. We got more music, a special guest who I know you're gonna love, cause it's me, Yo Sis. More positivity, poetry, and purple vibes than you could possibly imagine here in the studio. So stay with us, don't miss a beat, because we love you here on Live Life in the Purple with M Love on IBNXradio.com network.
Welcome to Positive News, a place to hear the news that brings a smile, focuses on accomplishments, and sheds light on positivity in our world.
We all know the best way to fight hate is with love. So this is obviously ideal, but how do people actually apply it in the world? How can a whole city fight hate together? It takes one or two people to take a stand for what's right, and that's exactly what is going down in Newnan, Georgia. Newnan, Georgia is a small town. It's the south of ATL on I-75, and they're faced with a dilemma. The National Socialist Movement obtained a permit to rally in the Central City Park there. So on Saturday, April 21st in Newnan at 3 p.m., the National Socialist Movement will rally in the city park. Though the city cannot constitutionally stop them from exercising their right, there will be a vote by City Council on a request for an event on Friday, April 20th, which is the day before the rally, in Newnan, where two citizens, Nathan Bryan and Derek Reed, have requested to have an event called Newnan Strong. So the plan is that they want to show that Newnan, the city of Newnan, and that place is not negative, that they are surrounded and they are inclusive of everyone. And so these two citizens have come together and created this plan that the day before the rally there'll be a display of unity and inclusiveness, in which people will come together in the community for 5 hours and just give good vibes and love and peace. And that's what they're doing in the city. So it's going to be the day before the socialist rally, and there will be area nonprofits at the spot. A 5K race will take place. There will be all kinds of stuff, free music, concerts, T-shirts. Newnan Strong's the movement. Newnan Strong is what they're calling it. Everyone is encouraged to attend. 5 hours of fun. Shops downtown are going to be invited to close on Saturday during the rally, and that is in so that the businesses may close the following day during the rally. So that way you are spending your money the day prior, that the businesses are not hurting as a response to this rally. So everyone's encouraged to patronize merchants downtown on the Friday to make up for Saturday's closings. The city, Brian says, is doing the right thing. This is it's a hard thing for people to manage. So what they're just doing is trying to overshadow the hate with bringing love up and putting love up front. So they say that it's not their narrative. No hate is the narrative of Newnan, Georgia, and it's not what they believe. That their voice and vision as a community is a community of a good place, a place where people get along and where people are very united. So we're giving it up to these guys for making something great out of something that seems like it's just all based upon hate. And that is happening in Newnan, Georgia. At the end of the day, Newnan says, Reed says about Noonan is that we are all the community. So way to go to the citizens of Noonan. This is definitely not easy to step out from the pack and be positive, but we salute you for doing the right thing and setting a good example the best you can. Hashtag Noonan Strong.
Thank you, yo sis. Now our next story was near and dear to my heart. I called it Black Ballerina. You know, when you say the words ballerina and black women, they usually don't go together, those two phrases. And when you say ballerina, you don't think of usually a black woman. But that has all changed now that Aisha Ash has started the Swan Dream Project. She wanted to change the stereotyped, characterized, and demoralized image of low-income black women. She was from a low-income area, but she traveled the world now, dancing with different companies, and she remembered how alone she felt because she was one of only a few black ballerinas. So in 2011, she launched the Swan Dreams Project to inspire kids in different communities that she grew up in. The original idea was to post images of herself in a tutu all over Rochester, New York, which is where she's from. And there's a visual to go along with this. If you look her up, she's in a tutu on the streets in these low-income areas, and these little girls are watching her. She says, I remember growing up, and in the bodega, you'd see images of girls in bikinis on motorbikes. So I wanted to replace those images with photos that show women of color in a different light. She knew the power of imagery can have. She still remembers what it felt like as a student at the ballet school to see a photo of a black ballet dancer, Andrea Long. She said that image was everything on days when I was feeling disenchanted. If I see that picture of her and I knew that the struggles that I was going through, she went through them too. So she also visits schools and she teaches about free ballet class. Now she's a mother of two in San Jose, California, and Ash will start teaching a free after-school ballet class at her daughter's public school next month. She said, I recently taught at Girls Inc. in Oakland, and one of the little black girls said, are you the ballet teacher? And she said, the little girl just stood there staring at me with her mouth open like a unicorn had just walked into the room. She said, you never know the impact you can have just by being a presence. Now, the chance of joining a top professional ballet for a black woman, black ballet dancer, is about 5%. Some industry specialists say that it's even harder for women of color. So she says, I don't want girls to suffer as I have. There are so many people who have gifts, but how many of us that have our gifts use them in ways to help others? I love this project, and I also love and salute anyone who goes back to whatever circumstances you were formed in and bring another forward with you. So salute to Aisha Ash and the Swan Dreams Project. And that's our positive news for today. Salute. Salute.
We hope that you enjoyed positive news and that the stories put a smile on your face. We here at Live Life in the Purple encourage you to be inspired to create your own positive news in the world. Positivity, it's a movement, baby.
Hi, this is Aaliyah. I listen to Live Life in the Purple with Emily Team Purple on IBNX Radio Network. Positivity, it's a movement, baby.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you urgent news. This just in.
That's my pleasure. Hey, sit down. Man, I'm on house arrest. I don't even supposed to be over here. Hey, what time is it?
I want you to put your hands together and welcome him to the stage. Big round of applause for Jackson Heights' own. Only one tip.
That boy is good.
Mm-hmm. Good and terrible.
When can I start?
Immediately.
And you know this, man?
Yes, we are back again another Tuesday for Only One Speaks here on Live Life in the Purple and the IBNXradio.com network. Now, this has touched me dear to my heart because y'all know we have been in Wakanda season for a very long time now, and we ain't going nowhere. So I officially burned my birth certificate because I'm from Wakanda now. I don't care what none of my friends say. The reason I say that is because this movie continued to make history every day. It has done something different, and today is no different. So Black Panther has now grossed over $1.3 billion worldwide, making it the third largest grossing movie within the U.S. behind Star Wars and Avatar. Titanic is one of my favorite movies because it came out on my birthday. I'm not gonna lie about that, but it just hit an iceberg because Black Panther took that. It hurt me, but I'm from Wakanda, so we gotta represent. Now, not only that, this Marvel superhero movie is now the third highest grossing film, like I said, behind Star Wars and Avatar. And the Saudi Arabia, a country where they do not have any movie theaters at all. They just released a 35-year ban to bring the first movie, yes, Black Panther, into their region. So right now, I believe in December coming up, they're going to open up movie theaters in Saudi Arabia. They plan to build 100 theaters across 25 cities in Saudi Arabia by 2030, which is unheard of. And the first movie they would be releasing for the public would be Black Panther. That's a massive shift. Saudi Arabia started closing movie theaters after they embraced an extreme, conservative perception of Islam starting in 1979. So which means they never seen a movie. If you're under 35, you never seen a movie in Saudi Arabia, which is here in the US is unimaginable, but we all have different cultures. The leader of Saudi Arabia says he wants to modernize his country. He told 60 Minutes in March that opening theaters is a part of his decade-long campaign to do just that. And still, Saudi Arabia is a country that treats women as second-class citizens and also beheads as prisoners. I'm not going there. But so keep in mind, allowing citizens to watch Black Panther is one thing. Making Saudi Arabia a Wakanda-like place forever is another. However, we here on Live Life in the Purple on the IBNXradio.com network continue to celebrate. And just to throw some numbers out there, domestically, Black Panther now has grossed over $665 million just in the U.S. Worldwide, 1.3. T'Challa, Chichango, all y'all names, I need my cut. Because we all won, so we got to keep putting this money back in our community. Wakanda forever. But thank y'all again for tuning in to Only One Speaks. This is Only One Speaks on Live Life in the Purple here on IBNXradio.com.
Yeah.
This is Rodney Williams, educator and social activist. You're listening to Live Life in the Purple on the IBNXradio.com network. Positivity. It's a movement, baby. Greetings. This is Rodney Williams, educator, social activist. I'm one of the original members of the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense out of Oakland, California. Welcome to my segment, History Speaks. Some notable achievements. The origin of the Pentecostal movement began with the historic Azusa Street Revival led by African-American preacher William Seymour there in Los Angeles, California. Juanita Hall became the first African-American to win a Tony Award for Best Supporting Actress for her role as Bloody Mary in the musical South Pacific. She continued to play that role for nearly 2,000 performances on Broadway. Jackie Robinson broke the baseball color line when the Brooklyn Dodgers started him at first base in the game, April 1947. Professional golfer Lee Elder, he became the first African-American to play in the PGA's Masters tournament just to play. Working in Major League Baseball's American League, Emmett Ashford, he made his debut at the D.C. Stadium, becoming the first African-American umpire in Major League Baseball. Then there's Bahamian American actor, film director, author, and diplomat Sidney Poitier. He became the first black actor to win an Academy Award and Golden Globe Award for Best Actor for his role in the film Lilies of the Field. Professional golfer Tiger Woods became the youngest and the first African-American golfer to win at the PGA's Masters tournament. And finally, the inventor William B. Abrams, he received a patent for the Haim attachment. It's a circular attachment for a draft horse's collar. Thank you for listening to History Speaks. We're certain that you found this information valuable. You can find me on social media at Rodney Williams on Facebook. And please keep listening each week as we bring you more facts about our history. Remember, if you don't know where you came from, you aren't going to know where you're going. This is Rodney Williams, educator and social activist. You're listening to Live Life in the Purple on the IBNXradio.com network. Positivity. It's a movement, baby.
Hi, this is Robbie Riegel, and you're listening to And Love and Live Life in the Purple. Positivity is a movement, baby.
Thank you so much. Yeah, positivity is a movement. It is a growing movement. And just want to, although it's well past 3 o'clock, I didn't tell you welcome to the second hour. And it ain't official until I tell you welcome to the second hour. I'm just kidding. So, yeah, we are here. Dr. Rashawn has left the building. That was amazing, amazing interview. And now all that's left are us chickens.
Aww.
No, I'm just kidding. We have a special guest in the house. So we're going to talk to your sister. She's our special guest host. She's special even if she wasn't our guest host today. But she is a part of my flow because we didn't know what I was going to do for the second hour, honestly. And then I was like, I breathed. I was going to get anxious about it. I took a deep breath and I said, just let it flow. And then she hit me up yesterday, so it worked out perfectly. So that's really what we're going to do more.
You mean you didn't resist? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't resist.
Oh.
I didn't freak out.
You weren't stubborn. You didn't try and find yourself a safety net, something. Oh my gosh, I've got to fix this. Instead, you just took a deep breath, and Yo's sister showed up.
That's right.
Isn't that amazing?
I trusted. My mom used to tell me that I could sell sand to a desert man. Is what she used to tell me, and so I figured I'll just talk. But now I don't have to do that. We can talk to you.
Yeah, that sounds good. And I didn't even care what we were doing today. That was the thing. That's where I didn't resist either. I did not care what these women and only one Tippy were doing. Whatever they were doing, I was riding with it.
You are so dope. You are dope.
Thank you so much.
Dope. You're so dope. You're going to reach in that bag and give us your opinion on what comes out of it.
Uh-oh, freestyle.
It's like a fortune cookie.
Okay, a fortune cookie. Speak on it. Say goodbye to drunk, toxic people and self-criticism. Say yes to more happiness, time with good friends, and love.
Wow.
That's exactly what happened yesterday.
That's crazy.
Because I've been working so much, and I've just been in some, I'm involved in some, heavy energy a lot. So yesterday I was just like, you know what, enough is enough. Where is the council? PDC, where are the women and only one Tippy? I just need to be around them. And so that's exactly what it is to me. It's just kind of being around people that are abundance to me.
Why would we choose to be around people who make us feel a certain way? I quit doing that. Because like I said in my love speech, I was literally with sharpened claws ripping myself inside to make other people feel better, even though I was sorely unhappy. Whether my unhappiness was irrational, whether I needed medication or something, it was real, and I was doing it to myself to make other people over there outside of me feel great. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That should be the definition of crazy.
That is.
Right?
That is. And oftentimes I find, and this is what I'm going through right now, is I'm trying to be very mindful that I'm actually making choices and not just moving with circumstance.
That's deep. Making choices and not just moving with circumstance. Wow.
Because that's the thing, is that people don't make choices about who's in their life. They don't even realize there's a choice. Most times, you're just raised into a family. You're born and bred to certain people, and that's who you stick with. And we know that that's not the case with me.
No.
I have just walked all over this world and found awesome people. But it's a choice. It is a choice who you keep around you and the energy that you allow to be in your space. And I think that's the biggest issue, is that people don't realize it's a choice. Because when you do, people fall off quick.
I'm gonna say this one thing, and I'm gonna get to this other beautiful redhead over here.
Love her.
a word I shared with you yesterday that I came across, because we love words. Everyone in here is a writer. Everyone in is built and is talented. But the word was responsibility. Responsibility. And this blogger broke it up into 2 words. Response able. Able to respond. So it's choice. So you can reach a apex in your life or a decision, and you get to the fork in the road, and you cannot, some people will block their ability to see that they have choices. So they go, I can't. And that creates a certain emotional, vibrational storm. Or someone will reach an apex and realize that the choices that they have, am I able to do that? Am I able to do that? And they'll find the one that they are able to, and they will take responsibility of it and make a move. And you can continue on your way, or you can stand there at the fork of the road going, I don't know, I can't.
Whichever way the wind blows.
Yeah. But you're right, we have a choice.
I think that's pretty profound, too, because you showed me your research yesterday, and what Yo explained and the word she used was right there on the diagram.
What did she say?
It was that she makes choices, and that that's what he had said, is that you don't just stop, and it keeps the energy flowing. It was part of your research for Love Speaks. You spoke on it.
You nailed it. And I didn't I didn't show you that diagram. I only told you the word. We were always
There's
in
so
alignment.
much synchronicity going on.
It's ridiculous.
It's
scary.
It's beautiful.
It's scary.
I need you to give some purple energy to Catherine Knight. What's up,
hello,
Catherine?
hello.
She's my new playmate. I get to play all the time. I'm so happy. I get to play.
And you have red hair like she has,
Yes,
too.
you're matchy now.
Yes.
All right.
Ginger twins.
Speak on it. All right. What screws us up most in life is the picture in our heads of what it's supposed to be. Oh. Okay. Well, I guess I'll say there was a point in my life, because I grew up with a lot of privilege, and I think I used to say I really was promised a rose garden. Like there's that expression, you weren't promised a rose garden. No, I was promised a rose garden. And life was supposed to line up perfectly, and things were, that image was not just instilled in me. I mean, it was bestowed upon me, right? And not living up to that, which is, my life has been quite a gypsy journey, and not having that image that everyone else, sometimes, a lot of people still hold for me, right? Like, that doesn't always work out, So what's supposed to be is very heavy.
Yeah.
And what is, there's a lot of acceptance and goodness in accepting where you are and why that's great. Like why that's my journey. That's an evolution. Because that what is supposed to be is a heavy weight on a lot of people.
If you are stuck in somewhere in your life, I just want to let you know that there is something on the other side. Depends on the choice you make. Make the one that scares the bejesus out of you. Make the one that it doesn't look like there is anything down that road. There is no light. Make that one. Yeah. Because that leads to peace. Make the one that makes your knees wobble, because that is where it is. And I'm just so happy to be in the company of these people that is great. I don't even know if we should share the story. I was trying to work around it. Should I tell them what's unique about?
I want to say something. I'm sitting over here still scared.
He's
right?
like Horseshack. You guys remember that she wasn't even a dirty thought in your mama's mind. But welcome back, Carter. Ooh, 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 ooh.
But y'all would not like. It's hard to wrap your mind around it.
How we talking about how we met? Particularly this particular triangle right here.
Right.
You're talking about me and you and Tippy.
Right. I knew Tippy already. He was living in Miami. I had not met Marilyn yet. Tippy comes down from Miami because he had equipped up from Miami. He has that bothers her. I'm from Georgia. We can say that.
Everybody comes down.
Came up from Miami to help me cover an event that I had to do. It was Purple event and for domestic violence, and he comes down up, and he's got his equipment, and we go to this place in Lawrenceville, and we do the event. That was in
2015. July 26, 2015 to be exact.
Now,
I know.
Now, a few months ago, I'm in the office, and Marilyn is flipping through her pictures, and I just look over my shoulder at her pictures, and I see this picture of myself at an event wearing a gown, and I said, "Oh, I didn't know you had that. Where'd you get that picture?" She said, "What picture?" I said, "That picture you have of me and Tippy." She said, "I don't have a picture of you and Tippy. That was me at an event." And I said, "Marilyn, that's me and Tippy." She goes back to the picture, and she took a picture of Tippy taking a picture of me at this event, and she didn't even know us.
Gee.
Wow.
She did. We hadn't met yet.
That's some cosmic energy going on there.
That's crazy. Like,
I just told him this yesterday.
Like,
He's freaking out
I
since
got
yesterday.
tears coming to my eyes. This really
Divine.
bothered me because,
Yeah, this is
in a
divine.
good way, it bothers me in a good way because that does not happen. How are you flipping through pictures and you have a picture of me taking a picture of her before we even knew you?
Yeah, it's
Before
pretty
we even
beautiful.
knew you. And you kept that picture in your phone not knowing that that was us in that
No,
picture.
I didn't know that was you.
And I still got them same boots. That's how I know it
That's me. Yeah.
was you.
Thank God for Dr. Scholes.
I know, right?
Wow.
But that's divine, like it, and that just let people know. Just trust the process.
Divine
know.
alignment is so real, especially
Yeah.
in this group of people.
Then, so that was in July.
Yeah.
In October,
No, August.
in August,
Yeah.
that same
No, it was in June, and then 2 months
June,
later in
okay,
August.
in August, there was another event by that same person
Yes.
who gave that event.
Thank you to
in
that
Buford.
person. Can we call her out?
Sure, Sheila Bailey. I love
Sheila
you
Bailey,
forever.
we love you too.
She had her book signing
Appreciate you for
at
bringing us
her
together.
childhood home in Buford, Georgia. I traveled up there for it. She wanted me to do a poem, and I'm nervous as all get out. I'm shaking like this to do a poem, in front of these people. Marilyn also was there, and before we met, she took a picture of me sitting. She just took a picture of the audience, and I'm sitting right there watching whoever is performing. She's over here. I hadn't even met her yet.
Crazy.
We met after that event.
That's wild.
My friend introduced us.
Yeah, Sheila Bailey again. God bless
And
her.
and she just was really weird. We shook hands, hey, how you doing? And went on about our lives.
Yeah, totally.
I forgot about her. That was in August. We didn't talk again until January. That same person said she was doing an event. And I said,
I
oh, do
needed
you think
media.
they need media? And she says, I don't know. I'll get you in touch with you. Remember Marilyn? No, I don't remember Marilyn. You remember Marilyn? She was at my event. You didn't meet her? No. Wait a minute. I think I did. I don't remember. She gives me Marilyn's number. That's it.
Boom, boom, boom.
And then Trish as well. Let me refresh your memory because that same day where Marilyn took the picture of me and M, that was the day where I went with Nikki. We went to the South Side for the. It was like a bunch of comedians at JR Crickets. It was that night. It was that day 2 years ago. Like
IBNX connected as well.
IBNX connected.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's so validating. It's so perfect. I become more familiar with these feelings because I look for them regularly. And I know everybody else is practicing that too, and I continue to practice it. And I know everyone in this room does the same, including Trish behind the glass. It's just proof as well that you need to surround yourself with people who think the way you do. And you need to have somebody, at least somebody else in the room who's doing more than you're doing so that you have something to aspire
Always
to.
to go to aspire
That's
to.
right.
So
The other thing that's important is life will keep doing things and it'll keep saying, over here, look at this situation, this person, and you'll go, this person seems more exciting because Marilyn was severely shy
Oh my God.
about meeting me and saying hi. My friend said, hey, this is Marilyn. She stuck her hand out and said,
I was so nervous.
Yeah.
I was practicing being an author. I said, hi, my name is Marilyn Pearson. I'm an author.
And I said,
okay.
I didn't ask you what you did. And then she walked away. She was so scared.
That was all I could say.
And I was like, crazy white lady. Okay, back to the conversation I was in.
Crazy white lady. Now I can't shut up. But back then I could barely speak.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I could barely
Life
speak.
will say, this point of electric energy is for a reason. You are here for something. For Pete's sake, crying out loud in a bucket, let's figure out what this energy is for and let's use it for the good of everyone in this building are such great humanitarians. I did not direct this. I did not put all this together. but we are here and we've got to do something with it. And we also got to do something else. Protect it. Protect your energy, protect your space. This is like holy ground for me. I'm very serious about this because I didn't go looking for this, although I probably was looking for it. But I also recognize when something happens and my antennas go up, wait a minute. Like the first time I walked in IBNX and I felt this really weird feeling. I'm standing there feeling goofy, like something's weird. Like, you know how one of those deja vu feelings? I didn't get deja vu, I got another feeling.
That was 3.5 years ago, or
Yeah,
four?
almost, this we're in the fourth year.
Yeah, 4 years ago.
So people, those of you who are out there,
Do you want to speak on that connection? What
What?
you told me when you first walked in the IBNX?
it was just weird. Actually, I was just new to speaking my poetry aloud. I had just made up my M Love name, and I did not get out too much for poetry. So I wasn't used to telling people my name is M Love. So she said, "What's your name?" And I said, M Love. I kind of stuttered it. She was like, M Love? And she still to this day says M Love, not M Love. And that was new for me, and I accepted that that's who I was. And I didn't realize that I had a significance to her, a connection to Trish as well. It was just like a lightning bolt behind the glass.
Well, you know, I normally don't speak, but this is definitely one of those topics. But just speaking about connection, even when it comes to M Love, I remind her that, you know, around that time, not too long before she came in, IBNX lost one of our team members, Miss Tanya Baker. And, you know, for me, I feel like her presence is always still there. Let me say that. And M Love walks in with these glasses on. And Santanya had these what I thought were very unique glasses that she always used to wear. And when M Love walked in and had those glasses on her face, the feeling and the connection that I had to M Love from that day to now is just amazing. I just feel like that was very significant. It had, you know, connection and energy in it within itself, and her coming in that day has a lot more to do with a lot of things deeper than just how you guys actually physically met individuals. Sometimes there's
Spiritual
presence. What's the best way to put it? Somebody explain it to me. You're guided, you know, to a certain place for a certain reason. So, and those glasses always to me make me feel like she was placed in my life for a reason.
This
and
at a
with
time
the
in my life where I
connection.
was feeling worthless and literally wanted to die. Literally. I cannot tell you, literally, it doesn't even seem to be a word I'm reaching out to you to tell you how I felt. With every step I put my foot on the earth, I wanted to die. I was sorely unhappy. And I met her during that time. I met all these people during that time. And I am just now starting to claw my way up out of that, like with bloodied fingernails, like coming up out of this darkness. And it feels incredible. It feels beautiful. But you got to get in and do the work. You can't escape it. Catherine, you know what I feel.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot. Every day is a new day, right? One day at a time.
One day at a time. And you think, how can I do good feeling bad? You can do good feeling bad.
In
you
fact,
can
you've
choose
got to.
do good. You've
That's
got to.
that's medicine.
That's right. And I think that's why I was led to this place. And I know we've got something amazing to do. You know, I feel like I'm waiting for the rest of the download. You know how you get in the moment, yo, and you're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
We talk about that all the
All
time.
the time.
We talk about that always, all the time, because it's so easy to feel like you're distracted, but you're not distracted. You are exactly where you're supposed to be in that exact moment, and we show that with that synchronicity all the time. So those thoughts and those feelings, that's just what they are. They're thoughts and feelings. They are not truth. The truth lies in what Trish just described and what we all just described, and the connection and the divine alignment of all of us. The proof, that's the proof. The only difference is, I mean, we sound to other people outside of this room or this building, we sound like gypsy, crazy,
I know.
witchy people.
But it's happening.
But the thing is that the difference between us and you, if you're listening and you think we're crazy and stirring up a witch's brew, is that we pay attention to it.
That's it.
So we see it. The same exact signs and guidances in everyone's life, but some people see it and some people don't.
Yeah.
I have to call it God. I mean, didn't make this up, but you've heard the expression God winks. And just thinking of it as divine just helps me stay humble to it. Not just like, ooh, everything's going my way.
Yeah, look
you
at
know?
me. I'm this.
That's
Pop
what
my
I trip
collar.
up.
No.
Yeah.
I get, like, can I hide under the table somewhere? Can I get any lower than that? That's scary. You about to say something, Mary?
No, I can't say anything.
Oh,
I'm just a big mush.
Yeah, I get there
But
too.
I do want to say one thing. You didn't know what we were going to talk about in the second hour.
No, I didn't.
And you let it flow. Thank you.
I let it flow.
Flow.
I had to.
Flow.
Well, I
Yeah.
would like to say something because we actually have all of Purple Door Creations in the building, and I don't think that we've ever really had the opportunity to speak on it.
See how she brought it back to
Yeah.
City people. Speak on it.
Well, I woke up one morning, and that word, that was in my head. Purple Door Creations. Boom. I don't know. That was in 2014. I had no interest in doing anything. I don't know. I woke up with it. I wrote it down. That's it.
You want
I
to
knew I
about the
wanted
other
to do.
connection?
No. What other connection?
Indigo.
Oh, we figured this out last night too.
This last night was crazy.
Tippy was telling me the original name for his studio that he had was called Indigo Studios. And I was like, indigo, bluish purple.
Yeah.
And I have a poem in which I say, I am an indigo child sent here to find you.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah, we've been some crazy tripping, eating mushrooms. No, we
Yeah,
haven't.
no.
But this stuff really happened, and it really happens. And
Yeah.
it's crazy. I feel everybody like, I treat you guys like diamonds. I seriously do, because not everybody will feel you or allow you the space to be you. Most people have a container that they got you in, and they want you to stay there because that's good for them to know that that's who you are. But the people around me allow me to expand, grow, and understand myself, and I appreciate that. That's a freedom I never took. I was gonna say had, but that's not true. I always had it. I didn't receive.
Let me just say something about Purple Door Creations, okay? Because we started PDC with the four of us, and we really didn't know why.
And we have no clue.
We have an idea, and we know where the next step is, but we don't know where the future is. But we do know that it's right. And how can you deny a good feeling?
I just know that you need good people around you. You can do anything by yourself, but it's something magical about doing something together.
And we are the four most different people.
We really are. That's what I always comment about us, especially in our country and in the entire world. I think that, I mean, we all think of ourselves as small. We all naturally kind of shy away from being grand and great and abundantly big and beautiful. And so we all kind of, hide from that just a little. But I feel like we are, Purple Door Creations is a display of love between people who seem like they couldn't love each other. So I think that we're bigger than what we really see. I think that we're a display of hope, and this is authentic. Like, we don't put on a show for each other or for anybody else. It just is what it is, and we figured it out, and we go day by day. We still sometimes don't know what we're doing.
We don't know, but I know one thing is constant, that I love you, and love shouldn't change. Not like that. It'll get deeper and better, but it shouldn't be, I don't love you today. I love you today. I don't love you today. That's not love.
It is a space. It's not. It's not. But what it is for me, and I see it in my teammates is that it is a space wherever we are, wherever M is, wherever I am, wherever Tippy is or Marilyn is, we create our own space to be, and we expect that we are the very best version of ourselves individually. And that somehow creates this collective greatness.
Yeah,
See,
and
I
we won't
almost
let
hesitated
each other
to say that because but it is.
But
really
you
is.
are phenomenal poet. I mean, the thing, and not just what people see. I know you are a poet. People see the spoken word artist. I've you wouldn't even know that it comes out of her. Tippy is an intellectual in a rapper's body. Not that rappers aren't intellectual, but he's really one of those dudes that can go there with you. And so you guys are so talented. Sometimes me and Marilyn look around and go, what are they doing with us? Right? Do you feel that way? Like,
yeah, it's a trip.
I feel a big, like...
I feel responsible sometimes. I don't know what we're supposed to be doing for these guys. These are like my kids. But, I mean, you're the age of my children, actually, literally. So actually, you're younger than my children, so I don't know what you see in me sometimes, and I feel the love, and I feel respected, and it's beautiful. I've never felt that way before, even from my own children, who it's a long story, but it's just a beautiful feeling to be in the eyes of people who love me.
Like Joe said, it's greatness, but I feel like we all feel responsible for each other.
Mm-hmm. We are.
At the end of the day, it's like we kind of, pulling on each other, like we pulling each other continuously. Like I fall, and pull me up. She fall, pull you up. You fall, she pull you up. She fall, so it's just we continuously feel like we...
And not only falling, but we go forward.
Yeah,
the
fall
creative
forward,
process
sure.
between the four of us is absolutely amazing. Let's talk briefly about the 30 out of 30 poems that M. Love made us all commit to, that she's behind on. Mm-hmm.
That's because...
Mm-hmm. And I'm not a poet, and I'm not behind.
Read your poem, man. Do
Oh,
your poem.
I don't
Got
have
him.
It. I don't have it.
Where is it?
I don't know where it is.
You
What, that
lied
goofy
so
one?
badly.
The goofy one about...
White folks can't lie. Cheeks got red. She lied.
Yeah.
And then she pulled it out of her pocket.
She lying.
That's not fair. You're not fair.
But yeah, 30 and 30. It's National Poetry Month. Woo woo.
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna go out and do some poetry tonight.
We are gonna go. We are gonna go out and support Griot Tuesdays. It is their 1 year anniversary featuring Poppy Picasso, and that is a great venue, a great spot that hosts our craft. So that's where we will be tonight.
So we get to hear some poetry. Marilyn,
I
you gonna
don't
do your
think I
poem?
have it. I don't think I have it. Do you have it? Did
Coincidentally,
I
she doesn't have it.
I don't have it. It's pretty cute, actually. It was a fun one. So sorry I don't have it. You didn't.
It's okay.
You
Yo, you got a poem?
Yeah. Yo, we need.
I got something real quick. I've been doing my 30 for 30. I am not behind, actually. I'm on point. And they said it's for poetry exercise. It's a poetry exercise. So when I thought of that.
Right. You have to write a poem every day in the month of April.
Mm-hmm. And I couldn't think of anything. I was just felt like, I'm forcing this. So it's called poetry exercise. Poetry ain't push-ups. Poetry ain't push-ups. Both strong, both balancing their own unsteady. With their own struggles, hosts of heavy, weighs more on the mind than the wrist, pushing forward, pouring through ink. The blood pumps, and the page sips, like wine after a workout.
No.
That's cool, like wine after a workout. That's dope.
Love it.
That's dope. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Only one was being difficult, but he's decided to do a song a day.
Yes, I'm kind of behind.
I don't know how he's behind. This man stayed up until 10:30 this morning.
Because I'm trying to catch up. I'm behind. But yeah, we definitely working. I've been doing a lot of records, but like I told M, I'm really more focused on quality than quantity. I'd rather put out, create 5 good records than 10,
mediocre.
Oh yeah, mediocre ones. So we definitely working for sure.
Okay. All right. So everybody's working. And we've got actually something to share with you guys. Only One has another EP out. This one, I think, is getting him a lot of notice. This is the first EP you've released in the last couple of years?
Yeah, it's the first one. And shout out to the Shade Room, which is a huge publication, I guess, to say on Instagram. They showed love. Like, we be in the DMs back and forth. Shout out to Biggs, one of the creators of Rockefeller Records. It was Dame Dash, Jay-Z, and Biggs. Salute to Biggs. He's been showing me major love. We've been back and forth in the DMs, and he doesn't even have to show that love, but I appreciate it. That project, Sacrifices, is on all major platforms. My mixtapes, DatPiff, Audiomack, Spinrilla. Just Google it. We out here.
Cop that guy.
We Googleable.
Sacrifice. Only one.
We are Googleable.
Only one Tippy. Number
Only
one
one.
Tippy. T-I-P-Y.
Synesthetic. Only
can never pass up. Like they about to drop Juvenile. Back that thug. Seen a couple pretty ones. I can never pass up. Like they about to drop Juvenile. Back that thug. Seen a couple pretty ones. I can never pass up. Like they about to drop Juvenile. Back that thug. Seen a couple pretty ones. I can never pass up. Like they about to drop Juvenile. Back that I asked the haters, not the laters. Why you mad for? Wasting time, you need to go and get your cash up. Like I got a lizard, I'm picking bags up. I only get the baddest, I got bad luck. I told her, stick to the story, or he just might sing you the more. I told him it's fish in the sea, he out here looking for Dory. She wanna go on the yacht, I told her it's on the spot. I told her don't cut the plans, baby, I'm watching the clock. She never seen the drop, she never seen the rocks. Now she got them Gucci shades, she don't see the ops. Keep that shave, I'ma eat the neck. Look like Minnie made my yellow, the lemon drop. Seen a couple pretty ones, I can never pass up. Like they about to drop Juvenile, back that thug. Seen a couple pretty ones, I can never pass up. Like they about to drop Juvenile, back that thug. Seen a couple pretty ones, I can never pass up. Like they about to drop Juvenile, back that thug. Seen a couple pretty ones, I can never pass up. Like they about to drop Juvenile, back that thug. Back that up to that Manny Fresh music, throwing cash money. Girl, that's how we do it. When I get pulled over, only time I play stupid. When I'm bumping 112, only time I'm playing Cupid. Hey, we don't love him, we don't love him. This ain't February. Ask about him, undercovers, that legendary. Even got a white chick, look like Katy Perry. Kissing on a black chick, look like Halle Berry. I lock that down, even got a commissary. It ain't even cuffing season, ain't no way she leaving. She f***ing me and she f***ing you, but she don't f*** with you. But you say she don't who? See a couple pretty ones, I can never pass up. Like they about to drop Juvenile, back that thug. Seen a couple pretty ones, I can never pass up. Like they about to drop Juvenile, back that thug. Seen a couple pretty ones, I can never pass up. Like they about to drop Juvenile, back that thug. Seen a couple pretty ones, I can never pass up. Like they about to drop Juvenile, back that thug.
Sacrifice, that is Pretty Ones, and that is what number on this track?
Number 3, I believe, or 4. Yeah, I think it's 3.
Number 4, Pretty Ones. So if you like that, you can download your own copy, and or you can see him, find him on social media if you want a physical copy.
Yes.
So yeah, we appreciate you guys very much. Of course, being National Poetry Month, it wouldn't be Live Life in the Purple with poets if we didn't end with poetry. And we're gonna let our guest of honor. She's got a beautiful track we were blasting here every week. Something for you to think, made for you to think about, by Yo Sister featuring Mr. Moody Black from South Carolina. But I just want to say we love you. We do this every week. Why?
Positivity. It's a movement, baby.
Music we play.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to bring to you South Carolina's own Moody Black.
Yeah. I'm just
Come on, bro.
let's get it. That shit before we drop it on you.
It's Moody Black and your sister. I see you got 2 eyes. Your third ain't looking from upstate. South Cac, I bring it to the A. They heard we dropping knowledge, me and sis be like, hey, hey. But don't get it twisted. Yeah, we from the South, so you know we bringing biscuits. Like talking about full-time, click, clack. Time been in the field, now it's fold down the goal line. Yeah, revolution means change by any means necessary. Malcolm in his thing, Marcus Garvey in his thing, Martin Luther in his thing. We gotta come together if you wanna make a change.
Ain't ready to come together, Moody. Everybody's falling for the dick. They try to divide and conquer, and that's exactly what they do. Man, it's like there's no place for compassion when glory lies in savages. A generation entirely educated on alternative facts, and it's a shame we gotta rap. Exchanging what you want for what we know you need. Hope floats in my flow like poetry, just so you know it's me, America. You act like you ain't noticing. Hope peace, but pardon me, see if we feel the need to speak on. Young blood dripping in the streets is of the we are freedom of speech born. Gripping team, rewind, here come the police, repeat more. Tragedy, here we go again, R.I.P. boy, America. I know you see what's happening, it's sad to see that mommies and daddies have been distracted systematically, and we've had about enough of that, to be honest with you. And the thing is, we're mommies and daddies now. We stand together. And I'm just telling you about that before we drop it on you.
They try to hit us hard, Jack Tatum, now these blacks back in civil like they're playing for the Raiders. They enslaved us and promised us 40 acres. The Alzheimer's what they done. Ronald Reagan put birds in our hands, 2 bushes, I'm saying. The pigs got a skillet and they making us the bacon like Kevin Footloose. We 100 miles and running it, yet we got an attitude. Uncle said we mad at you. Coming from the motherland, my longitude and latitude got me in a place where I wanna start busting, but I'm tired of the fussing. Got us all cussing. Let's sit and make a plan till we come up with something, yeah.
That's what we have to do. We have to not act emotionally and think strategically. They will never be ready. Simon says, say what? Hey, take a look at us. Just 2 country bumpkin sons of guns are causing up a ruckus, finna fussing, fighting, screaming. Till we all have equal peace. You see, the pie ain't worth eating if the feeling ain't sweet to me. We just gotta give these folks a little bit of truth. Me and Mr. Black on the track is unfamiliar to you, but this is the new America. Get used to it. The struggle's so real to give you something you can use through it. If you don't know what to be, don't be the problem. You part of the equation, man. How we gon' solve them? While they divide and conquer, be of service, lend some help. Pray for our nation. Shell can't do it by herself. Whatever you can, be of service. To be an addition to your community. Stand together, side by side. I'm telling you, the solidarity will blow their mind.
What's up? This is Yo Sister. I live life in the purple with M Love and Team Purple on IBNXradio.com network. Positivity. It's a movement, baby.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the show? We appreciate y'all tuning in again. Yeah. And again. Yeah. And again. Yeah. Let's go. I hope M Love touched your soul and gave you more. We live every Tuesday from 2 to 4. Led by a strong black woman, Team Purple. A long time coming. Patience is a virtue. The best show, the best guests, the best topics. IBNX Radio, the best rocket. Rock solid, a lot of knowledge. Pay homage. Live life in the purple, taking off like a rocket. Only one.
IBNX Radio.
If you're not listening to Word of Mind Radio, then you're seriously missing out. Host Trey Grizzy and Nine Ether share their perspectives on everything from social issues that affect our communities to relationships and trends that affect us all. Guaranteed to teach you something new. Word of Mind is engaging.
The only way that we can do this is do it together. So I love you.
We all love you for sharing.
Empowering.
Somebody dropped the ball somewhere because we want our kids to forget the struggles that we went through, but the struggles that we went through is what got us to where we are now.
And definitely entertaining.
You know, she probably got one of them wholesome names like Gertrude, but back in the day they called her Gertie. They called her
Dirty Gertie.
Dirty Gertie. Flirty Gertie. You know what I mean?
Oh, y'all are horrible.
Yeah.
Tune in and learn up every Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on IBNX Radio.